This is Paul English. I wanted to introduce myself and I wanted to welcome you to Survey of Economics, Econ 120. And what I'd like to do is to show you how to navigate through this Blackboard shell. So let me start with that. So we are on the announcements page, and this is the page where you'll enter the course at all times. And I'll be posting announcements, both text messages and verbal announcements to you throughout the semester. And they'll be on top of this greetings to all, so it'll be easy to see and keep informed. Let me go to the Start Here button. So let me click on that and see what comes up. And so what we see here is an introduction by myself, and you see my website here. Just practically my whole life is on that thing, so if you want to know more about me, you could go here. I'm a big gardener. I have a lot of photos of my yard and so forth, and I pay just about anybody $10 an hour to weed. So if you need some money, come see me. Let me scroll down a little bit. The course objectives and format. And so what this does, as the name would suggest, it tells you how the course is set up. Prerequisite knowledge, there is none. The required textbooks are right here. And you do need a workbook, because the workbook will help you quite a bit with understanding the principles here. Then this is a real cute little affair. Talks Father Guido Sarducci how you can get your degree in 5 minutes, and so it is related to supply and demand. Let me scroll back up to the top. I'm not going to go fast because I know it gets you dizzy. So we're still in the Start Here button, so I'm going back up to the top of the Start Here button, and then the next button would be course information. So let's go here. So we come in and we see the syllabus, and let's click on that. And there are two files here. This is the official course syllabus, and then this is what I call the week-by-week schedule. So everything that's included here in the week-by-week schedule is included here up in this template. This template includes a lot more information, things to help the students if you have a technical problem with Blackboard, or plagiarism, or due dates, or so there's a whole bunch of information, and you need to read and print and understand the information there. So this is, as the name would suggest, what's included in course information. Let's go to probably the most important button would be course content. That's where the teacher puts most of the material for the student. So the first file here is what I do with all this information. Then we have week 1, introduction and orientation. So let me click on that one, and to see how the subfolders are set up. So in this subfolder, 1, without insulting your intelligence, is how to go about reading an econ book. Then we have assessment instructions, and it says begin reading this How to Think Like an Economist. It's not due for a couple of months, but I promise you, please trust me on this, if you read just 10 or 20 pages, it'll help orient you to the subject matter. So that's something you should start on in the first week. But this assignment here, the productivity assignment, this is what you need to complete by next week, by next Thursday, the 29th. And as it says there, you don't need a textbook to do this, so even if you haven't gotten your textbook, you can work on it. And you need to make sure you do this, because the school requires that I withdraw you or delete you from the class if you haven't. So that just creates a lot of hassle for you and me, so life's going to be better if you just complete this assignment by the due date. Let me come back up to course content again. Click on it. And we would see a similar type of subfolder for week 2. So if we came into week 2, and we'll just see that there's a similarity in the subfolder. So here's the reading and viewing material, and of course you could click in here and you could see what these files are. And then let me scroll down a little bit. So the week 2 assessment instructions, and it says that you have to take a quiz. So let's click on this and see what happens. And so here's the quiz. Let me just click on it and show you that it'll open up. And you can take these quizzes as many times as you want. And all right, let me say begin. And so here you do. You have the first quiz, and this is how you'll go through the entire course. So I'm going to close out on the quiz right now, and I'm going to say OK. And then I'm going to come back over to the discussion board in a second. But what I wanted to finish my thought, the quizzes you can take as many times as you want, and we'll use the best score. So you don't need to worry about reducing your score by taking another quiz or test. The idea is the more repetition you do, I think the more you're going to learn. So now let me click on the discussion board. And this is where you will interact with both me and fellow students. And so here we have the class introductions. Please tell us about yourself. Then the water cooler forum would be a place where you could communicate with your fellow classmates. If you have a question about the subject matter, you can include that here. The first question deals with productivity, and let's just see. So the reason that productivity is the first assignment is that it's such an important component for economic growth, and it's one of the reasons that we live so nicely. And remember that you don't need a textbook to do this, and that it has to be completed within the first week to keep from being withdrawn. Then we can see that there's other discussion board questions. There's the tragedy of the commons, the national debt, and then an assignment called the Rice to Riches PowerPoint. So I'm going to scroll back up to the top. Remember, we're still in the discussion board. I'm trying not to go so fast that you get dizzy. So here you have the basic structure of the course. You have these buttons right here, and that's where all the information is embodied in the Blackboard shell. And these buttons here are self-explanatory, more or less. So if you have any questions, you can send me an email. I'll get back to you quickly. I think a quick response in an online class is real important. And if I've made any mistakes, we're transitioning to new Blackboard shells, and every time we do the semester change, sometimes I make a mistake on the date. So if you see something that looks wrong, please contact me and let me fix it. I'm hoping we're going to have a good semester, and I wish us all good luck.